We're getting closer to tip number one. And hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Doses of Jazz here, and today I'm going to be going over 5 tips to help you live a more positive life. So stay tuned. It's so easy to feed into negativity and let it consume you. But when you have the tools to combat it and actually actively use them, you can see the difference, like the night and day between the two. Before we get started, I think it's important to note that living positively is something that you have to work at every day. It's never going to be second nature. Our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings are all things that are ever changing. So something that worked for you 2 months ago isn't necessarily going to work for you today. So all in all, just be aware of the changes that can take place and prepare yourself so you can properly adjust. There's basically going to be 5 tips, and number 1, when I get to the number 1 tip, that's going to be like basically the number 1 thing that I do to live positively, and I'm really excited to bring this one up because it's something that has helped me the absolute most. So let's get started. I like starting, I like shining. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving niggas wrong. I do what they say I can't. Okay, since I don't have music in the background, I gotta make up my own music in my head. Oh, I just started putting highlighter under my eyebrows, so can you see? Can you see? And does it look good? I think it does. Anyways, off topic. Let's get back on topic. Okay, so my number 5 tip number 5 is to focus on healthier living. Now, I know it's something that we hear all the time, but that saying is really where it's at. Because when you're focusing on living a healthier life, everything just kind of falls into place. For example, me, how I live a healthier life, one of the things that I have done in the past, which I've kind of slacked off on now, but when I was in the military, I used to do this every single morning. Every single morning before I got out of bed, I would not get out of bed until I drank a bottle of water, so basically 2 glasses of water. And I would always have like a bottle of Dasani, that's what I used to drink at that time, on my nightstand, and I would drink that whole entire bottle before I got out of bed. And that basically, it set me up to have a good day, because in general, but depending on your body weight, but in general, you're supposed to drink 8 glasses of water a day. So by me drinking those 2 glasses right then and there, that basically set me up to reach that goal. Oh, it's hot. It's hot, it's hot, it's hot. And I got on a sweater. Which, I know it's still, I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and it's still hella hot in Jacksonville, but it's almost fall, and I just can't wait. So I just decided to wear a sweater today. So in focusing on healthier living, me personally, I know people hear it all the time, but I don't eat meat. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect by any means, and I do have times where I may eat something that I know has like an ingredient of like eggs or milk or something. But in general, like, I will never be seen drinking a glass of 2% or fat-free milk that came from a cow. I drink like almond milk and stuff like that. One of the things that I don't eat, that I have not eaten since, I want to say the beginning of the year, I don't eat meat. So I don't eat chicken, I don't eat like cow, I don't eat pig, pork, I don't eat that stuff. That's just my version of living a healthier life. And you basically just have to find something for yourself that is healthy, that you know that you can stick with, or that you know that you can like use your tools and use your resources to stick with. And for me, that just happens to be like making sure I drink water and making sure I like stick for the most part to my plant-based diet. And something that I think is super important when you're focusing on healthier living is to realize that you don't have to go cold turkey in whatever it is that you choose to do. I feel like focusing on creating the habit is the important thing, because when you go cold turkey, it's so many things that can go wrong and make you revert. But if you focus on doing a little bit each day and creating that habit, it's so much easier to maintain whatever it is that you decided that you wanted to like transition over into the healthier arena. Handy dandy paper that tells me what I need to say, because I'm bad at remembering. My number 4 tip is to have both short and long-term goals. Now, I know it's cliche, it's a big cliche to say to have short-term and long-term goals, but it's important to have a purpose for why you're doing what you're doing on an everyday basis. So, for example, so for me, my short-term goal was to get my associate's degree, and I got that in December of 2017, so almost a year ago. And like the feeling of completing that, it made everything that I went through to get that degree worth it. You know, it gave a purpose for the long nights that I stayed up. It gave a purpose for the tears that I cried when I just felt overwhelmed with taking 6 classes at once. For me, a long-term goal is to be able to live a life where I create my schedule, where I don't have to clock into a quote-unquote 9-to-5 job to be able to wake up and not have to be somewhere. To be able to wake up and go to the gym versus wake up and rush to get ready for work. To be able to wake up and make my daughter a good breakfast of like pancakes, and my daughter, she still eats meat and stuff, so I'd make her like pancakes and sausage or bacon and eggs. To be able to make her that hearty meal rather than say, do you want cereal for breakfast, or do you want a pancake that I heat up in the microwave for 35 seconds because, you know, we're trying to get out the door. So I just really want to be able to live that life where I am in complete control. So that is a long-term goal for me. It's something that I haven't met yet, but working towards it, it gives purpose to everything that I do now to get me to that point. You see what I'm saying? So have those goals, write them down, put them in places where you can see them every day, and focus on doing something, anything every day that gets you closer to that goal. We're getting closer to tip number 1. And so tip number 3 is to accept the hard times and embrace the good times. There's no human being on this earth that's perfect or has a perfect life. So in accepting the hard times and realizing that like nobody can have a perfect life, it's important to understand and be okay with the fact that bad things are gonna happen in your life. And the important part is just making sure you pull yourself out of the feelings and the thoughts, the bad feelings and the bad thoughts that come with having hard times. Like looking at the glass as half full rather than half empty, things like that. And then in embracing the good times, you have to allow yourself to melt into the good that happens in your life. Don't hold back your smile or your feelings of happiness, and don't think that, oh my goodness, yes, this good thing is happening to me, but the bad thing is right around the corner, because living life like that is not gonna help you live positively at all. I remember I used to be the kind of person that thought like that. Okay, something good is happening to me right now, but by the end of today or by tomorrow or in a few days, something bad is going to come and just snatch this happiness away. Thinking like that will leave you depressed, it'll leave you sad, it will affect the people around you because you're a constant downer even in good times. So just let yourself sink into the good things that happen in your life, and just live in the moment and be happy, be truly happy. All right, on to tip number 2. Almost the one, 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 almost the. Tip number 2 is to be mindful of the negative things or possible negative things that you allow into your life. And basically that can be people, TV, and the like. And in reference to people, toxic people will drain you and kill your relationships. They will. I personally, which no one really knows this, the only one that knows this is my boyfriend. He's the only one that knows this, but now everybody is about to know this. Everybody that watches this video is about to know this, but I had to go to therapy for months and months just to, in general, figure out life, but to learn how to deal with toxic people in my life. And because I was at a point where I was so depressed, I was affecting him, I was bringing his mood down, and my vibe was just so negative, and it stemmed from the toxicity around me. People can affect you and your life if you let them. So be aware. Be aware of the people that you let into your life and how they affect your life. And then also, if you have people in your life that are toxic or that are adding negativity into your life, use your resources and find ways to kind of nip that in the bud. And then TV, I love my Ratchet TV, but it has to be watched or taken in doses. I love my, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I think that's what's on right now. Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and then Black Ink Crew. I watched both of those yesterday, and then today I think probably, if I have time, which I probably will because it's Sunday, I'm going to be watching not Love and Basketball. What am I thinking? Basketball Wives. I'm going to be watching Basketball Wives today. I love my Ratchet TV, but I make it a point to take it in doses. I don't watch it every single day. Oh, Jerry Springer too. I be watching Jerry Springer. That's part of my Ratchet TV as well. But yeah, I take it in doses. I don't watch it every day. I don't watch it all day. Just in my downtime. I don't think people realize that TV, it affects your vibe, it affects your mood, it affects all that. Oh my goodness, we're at tip number 1. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Tip number 1. So my number 1 tip is to find something that centers and balances you. That is my number 1 tip, and it is the one thing or the main thing that has changed my life drastically in regards to living positively. Now, when I say to find something that centers and balances you, it can be meditation, it can be saging, it can be journaling, it can be diffusing, talking to God, etc., etc., etc. One thing that I do not every day, I try to do it every day, but that depends. I have 2 kids, so that it just depends on how the day is supposed to go. with them added in. But every morning when I wake up, or most mornings, I light a incense. I light an incense, and right now I have black love, I have vanilla, and I have blueberry that I kind of rotate. So I light an incense, and then I get my diffuser going, and then I sage my entire apartment. So I light it up, and then I go through and I just sage my entire apartment, and that just make sure that I start my day in a positive mood. Now I know also with sage, I've seen spray sages, like if you don't want to light and, you know, vibe that way, there are sprays. And oh, one thing I also do as well, I try to get music going in the morning, so I have like a Bluetooth speaker thing, and I, you know, just try to get music going to bring that mood up as well. Especially if Layla is awake, that's when I'll really do it. But yeah, I like to get that Bluetooth speaker going, get some music going, dance a little bit, sing a little bit, just to start off my day in that positive manner. As far as like journaling, I don't journal, but when I wake up, I pull out my phone and I just real quickly write 3 things that I'm thankful for in my life. That is a good idea. And then meditation. When I do meditation, which I know you're not supposed to, but I do my meditation in bed before I go to sleep, just because that is kind of the time that I know that I'm going to be able to use, like in an uninterrupted way. You know, Layla sleep, Bailey's off to bed, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. So I just turn on, I'm currently using an app called Headspace. Then I usually have it running for 10 minutes. So somewhere within the beginning and the end of that 10 minutes, I fall asleep. So I don't necessarily get the full benefits of the whole 10 minutes, but it definitely does help me go to sleep with a clear head. It helps me go to sleep with an understanding that I can bring into the next day for whatever troubles I have for that day. So I hope one day I'll be able to do the crisscross applesauce, you know, whatever, meditation type thing. But for now, what I'm doing works for me. Yeah. That was tip number 1. Alright, so I pray and I hope that this video was helpful to someone. Comment down below any ideas or other things that you use to live positively in your life. I feel like this motivational and inspirational route that I'm taking is one of my purposes in life. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, watch some of my other videos, and join me along for this ride. Alright, see you guys in my next video. Jazz out.